Hi, Bo with Brousseau's Coachworks here, and welcome to our first YouTube video. If you guys have been following us along on social media, welcome. We're super excited to get this channel going, and we're going to kick it off doing an EFI upgrade on Preston's 77 Bronco. Today we're going to be installing Holley's EFI Sniper 2 system. It's the whole ecosystem, so it includes the Hyperspark distributor, the coil, the Hysperspark control box, and the PDM. What we really like about these PDMs that Holley just came out with, they call it the power distribution module. It really helps clean up the wiring and makes everything super simple for install. Kane is our lead mechanic here at Brousseau's. What do you like about installing Holley products?
I like how easy everything installs. Most of it's all plug and go. Everything's labeled very well. Everything's easy to mount and install.
There's a bunch of things we like about EFI. One of them is the drivability and reliability. You can fiddle with your carburetor all day long, but with electronic fuel injection, you turn the key and you drive. Preston's been following us for a while on social media, and he finally reached out and started the conversation about doing an EFI upgrade. After some deliberation, we figured we're just going to do EFI, and later on down the road, we're also going to do a body harness. But in the meantime, we're going to install a Tom's Off-Road EFI 23-gallon fuel tank. It's a baffled tank and allows us to have an in-tank pump, so they're quieter. They run cooler and they'll last longer. And with this whole install, we're also going to run new fuel lines. We're going to use AN fuel lines, so brand new hose, brand new fittings. We're going to do a frame-mounted pump. No, sorry, cut that. We're going to do a frame-mounted filter, a post-pump filter, and we're also going to do a 60-pound Holley fuel pressure regulator as well on a return. Running AN allows us a lot of flexibility. It's super modular. What we really like about it, one, it's really easy to run, and two, there's never any leaks. We never have any issues. Doesn't matter what pressure we're running, whether we're running carburetor pressure or EFI pressure. All the Russell AN fittings have always done us very, very well. A lot of our clients daily drive their classic cars, and everyone that we installed the Sniper 2 systems on, they do report back saying their cars start easier in the mornings. They don't have to sit there and pump the throttle or pull the choke or anything. The whole ecosystem adjusts your timing and fuel, so you run out there in the cold morning, start your rig, and take off. Although we don't guarantee horsepower gains, our clients do say they do feel the car's a little peppier, and they notice a difference for sure. Now that we have Preston's rig in here, we've established a base time and initial time. We found top dead center, and it's time to start taking off all the old parts. Well, Kenny, why don't you say we get going? We'll start by pulling this carburetor. We'll disconnect the fuel line, okay. Pull the carburetor off. We can disconnect all the plug wires. We can pull the distributor off, get this whole fuel line out of the way. One thing to pay attention to is this throttle bracket. You're going to need this throttle bracket even with the Sniper. It's going to do a great job about holding your throttle cable and your kickdown cable as well.
We'll start a pile of parts on your box of all the old stuff. We're gonna put where we put all the old stuff at. So get ready to pull the carb off here. I'm gonna pull this off and throw this towel over here all over the intake manifold to make sure nothing falls in it while we're working on it or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the MSD box out. We're not gonna need that. It comes with the new Hyperspark and all the stuff. So we're gonna pull this out.
I'm gonna steal the limelight with Kane in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So these new Holley Snipers, they give you an option for a PDM or a power distribution module. We really like this because it's a very clean power source for Holley. And now that Kane's removing that old MSD box, I think it's going to be a prime spot to mount this PDM and run all of our wiring.
So we got the MSD box out. We're going to hopefully get the PDM that Bo was just showing us to fit over here in this area over here.
Now that we have this carburetor off, we can start taking a closer look at the Sniper 2. The main wiring harness here comes in and out of this plug. So here you'll have power. You'll also have all of your whole ecosystem control. The next connection here is actually something new for Holley. Instead of running a screen, you can actually opt for a Bluetooth module, and that's what we did here on Preston 77. So here we'll connect the Bluetooth module and we'll do all of our tuning and get in the computer through this connector here. The next connector is for your water temp sensor. Holley gives you everything you need. They give you an O2 sensor. They also give you a water temp sensor. So we'll do that a little bit later, but that's where the water temp sensor goes. The final connector here is actually for your O2 sensor. So once we get totally done with this whole install, we will get the car up in the air and we will install an O2 sensor. But it used to be auxiliary in and out, but it's actually an O2 now. You see that, Kane? The auxiliary in and out, instead of being separate, they included it in the main harness now. Remember, it used to be a separate connector? Yeah. Yeah. In fact, why don't you come over here, camera guy? One thing that's actually really neat that we're gonna be able to do for Preston is he had in the front of the radiator here, he had an external temp sensor and he was triggering the fans with that. So with the Sniper system and the water temp sensor, we're gonna be able to use some of the auxiliary outputs and an external relay to power and trigger his fan. And I forgot biscuits today.
Huh?
I forgot biscuits today.
Oh, no Scooby snacks.
But we'll take a tri-tip break here at break. Well, we have biscuit time. I bring Belvita bars or Belvita crackers, and we have biscuit time every day. Coffee and biscuits.
So I guess we could pull the distributor out now, and then we can start mounting stuff.
Yeah, now that we found top dead center, we're comfortable with it, we scoped it, and we can pull the distributor. I'll give you a little more room right there.
Pulling the spark plug wires off, cut the cap off, get that out of the way, and then we can pull the distributor out the rest of the way. I'm gonna pull this out. You just wait to pull it out now. Go for it.
All right, now that we finally got the carburetor, distributor, and the old ignition box out, I think it's time to put the Sniper on, Cam. What do you say?
Yeah, let's get the Sniper on there. We'll get it all cleaned off, put the gasket on there, and should be good to go.
Right on, let's do it. Right back on over this as if it's carburetor.
So this throttle bracket that we saved, we're going to go ahead and put right back on here. Hopefully everything lines up. We don't have to do any modifications on the bracket itself.
You need a non-flange though, don't you?
Actually, if it was flanged, I could use that's what's going on the throttle bracket, so it's fine.
Okay, I'll get you a 5/24 flange then. See? Lista cabinet's full of hardware.
So we're pulling the bracketry for the throttle cables off this one, and hopefully everything will go back onto that one easy. We're going to try to reuse all the old hardware, and hopefully that'll all work so we don't have to purchase any new stuff.
So like I was saying, this Sniper 2 system has auxiliary outputs, and since we're doing a temp sensor, we can get rid of his probe trigger for his electric fans, and we will trigger it through the sniper, you know, 180, 185 off and 195 on, or whatever we decide. But get rid of this blast from the past here of these old sensors, probe sensors. Okay, now that we have the Sniper 2 installed, the next is to install the PDM that Kane has there in his hands and a Hysperspark box that I have here in my hands. One thing to keep in mind and to kind of be cognizant of where you mount these, because wiring has to go between them and the Sniper itself. So we've chosen the inner fender for the PDM, and we'll choose the core support here for this Hysperspark box. But like I said, keep in mind, look at the diagram, the wiring diagram, if you're not familiar with it, and look where everything needs to go, where powers need to run, where triggers need to run, and kind of have it in mind of, you know, how you can secure wires along the way as well. So I think I mentioned earlier in the video that we're going to trigger the fuel pump and the fans with an external relay, and this PDM actually takes that away from us. We don't have to do that, so we can use the PDM. The Sniper will tell the PDM when it's basically the trigger itself. It's internally relayed, so it will, the Sniper will trigger the PDM will send power out to the fuel pump, and same thing with the fans as well. So it cleans up a lot of wiring, a lot of external relays for us, and makes it a lot easier. So we're going to put the PDM here on the inner fender. What we're going to do is just going to hold it up there where we like it, where it doesn't interfere with the washer box. We're going to make a couple marks, and we're going to drill, and then we'll nut and bolt it. Folgers in Copenhagen. One thing that Holley recommends, if you read the instructions, is actually to coat this distributor gear with oil, a break-in oil. It's going to be a high zinc oil, and it allows the distributor gear to break in properly. So make sure you read the instructions for little nuances like this. It smells like Christmas too. Now that we got our distributor dropped in, we could take our timing cap here, place the timing cap on where Holley suggests it to go, and we can put the distributor clamp back on. Now that we have the distributor clamp on, we can go ahead and tighten everything down, put the cap back on, and we're at zero. Okay, I got the PDM all installed now. Now we're going to grab the Hysperspark, and we're going to mount this one over here in this area. Then we'll start wiring after that. So get ready to put this on here. I'm going to set it up here, mark it, drill it, put some bolts in it, and then we'll be all set.
I don't know, just fuel injection stuff. It's gonna be cool, it's gonna be drivable. We love that fuel injection, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Don't have to worry about chokes, don't have to worry about anything. Go outside, it's 20 degrees, you hit the key and it's running.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. Makes them so drivable. You take something that's hard to run with carburetors, people that aren't used to carburetors, and you fuel inject it, anybody could drive it. There's no secret, you gotta stomp it 3 times and hold it halfway, starting big block Chevelle stuff, you know. Kinda cool. Technology.
Now we get to the wiring phase of the Sniper 2 install. So here at the main plug, it's obviously going to plug right into the Sniper itself. The rest is pretty much self-explanatory. Red and black, power and ground. Your other plug here is going straight to your Hysperspark box. And then the white, blue, and pink, so white's going to be points output, Blue is going to be your fuel pump trigger, and pink says switched ignition for the for the Sniper system. And all these will go directly to the PDM if you're going to be running the power distribution module. Beyond that is this auxiliary harness here, which is going to be auxiliary outputs. This we will be using, and we'll be using this to trigger the fan as well. No, we won't.
Wait, you said this is Hysperspark. This is Dizzy.
Distributor?
Yeah.
Just kidding, we're not using this for fan trigger. The PDM is going to be the fan trigger. And I misspoke, that's not for the Hyperspark, that goes straight to the distributor. Here's a spike. Here's the harness for the Hyperspark. This will plug directly into the Hyperspark box. A couple different plugs here, obviously power and ground, which if you're running a PDM will go straight to the PDM. If you're not, these will go straight to the battery. The next plug is for your coil. If you're going to run the square coil, this will plug right in. On this one, we have the factory coil bracket right on the front of this. Oopsies, right in the front of this small block. So we're actually going to switch out to a canister style coil, at which point we'll just clip these off, put little ring terminals on them, and put them right on that coil. And the other one, wherever it went, is just power, so that'll go right to the PDM as well.
So there's first wires done. We have all these left here to go, and we're just gonna keep doing one at a time here until they're all gone.
So far we've installed the Sniper 2 TBI, we've installed the PDM here, we've installed the Hyperspark ignition box here, we've installed the distributor. And with the distributor, I just want to recap, make sure we're at TDC, and when you're setting the distributor and tightening it down, you use Holley's cap that they provide to make sure you place that rotor at 0 degrees. With this, we also have the throttle cable installed and the kickdown installed too for this transmission. Next would be to install spark plug wires and to get fuel to it, so make sure to follow along on our next video where we install Tom's off-road 23-gallon EFI tank, and we use a bunch of Russell AN hose and fittings to get fuel to this motor. After this, we will throw a tune on and we will get to firing it up. Although we're fairly new to YouTube, we've been doing this a long time. So if you like these videos, make sure to like and subscribe and follow along as we give you guys a host of product reviews and tool reviews as well.